Women and youth of Baracara and surrounding communities in the Kanji Creek are loud in their praise of Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustapha and the government of Guyana for the many interventions aimed at advancing agriculture and general livelihoods in their communities. This was a sentiment expressed during a visit to the community Friday by the Agriculture Minister and team from his ministry. That meeting was aimed at hearing first-hand issues affecting the residents of the Kanji Creek communities. In welcoming Minister Mustapha to the community of Baracara, Chairman of the Baracara Community Development Council, Mr. Marshall Thompson, said that the communities are heartened by the timely interventions that were requested and promised by both President Dr. Irfan Ali and Minister Mustapha.
And for the black giants, then for the stallion out there, beautiful stallion out there. Then we have the contract that started at the back there to assist farmers. Then we have the contract that would start in just a few days, the empolling of our cattle savant over there. Resident, I want you to know that the contractor is already here for the empolling of the savant over there. So, Mr. Minister, we are very proud of you and what your government is doing for our community, Baracara. I want to say to you today that serving others is the rent you pay for the room on earth down here. So, as you serve us, you are paying a rent, and we are happy for your service.
Other residents of Baracara and surrounding communities also expressed their satisfaction with the attention their communities have been receiving in recent times from the government of Guyana.
I am grateful for what the president is doing in Guyana. At least we are going to work hand in hand so we can have a better Guyana. I am thankful for all the promises, and when there have been issues, we are going to put everything into progress so we can have a better Guyana.
We are satisfied because at least my husband, who is approaching farming, he can get to farm with the canal that is being dug that back there. He can get to do his farming. So we are satisfied.
Well, I know the minister for a very long time, and this minister is executing properly. You know what he says come to pass, and we really appreciate this visit from the minister. Well, this community is overwhelmed because we never see this, right? This president, this government is doing excellent for Baracara, right? And I can say that we are blessed through this government, right? Our needs have been supplied. Those persons who used to be at home all the time have been involved, engaged, and they're getting a monthly salary, and the livelihood of Baracara has been changed tremendously. So we want to say thanks to the government in a significant way, and I hope they continue to do the good job they are doing.
I've been living here for 30 years. Agriculture in this community is our main source of surviving. And what the agriculture minister is doing for us right now in Baracara is beyond great. It's very good. We are grateful. We want to thank the team for doing such a great job. Right now, water flood the place, all the plantings and everything, and it's like unfair for us because we can't get to reap or harvest our produce. But with that canal that start digging, we can do bigger farming and better farming to this community. So in relation to farming in this community, I will say that is the best job employment we can do, self-employment.
In his address to residents of the community, Minister Mustapha said visits by the ministers of the government were mandated by President Dr. Irfan Ali, who advances the philosophy that government and those within it are there to serve the people of the communities in every part of the country, without exception, with Baracara being one of the communities he visited recently, where several commitments were made and are now being realized.
And I want to say first of all, to my sister here. This here is not a privilege for you all. This is a duty of our government. And as the president came the last time, he said that that will not be his first and last visit to this community, neither the ministers of his government. And that is why I'm here again, to see what has been done and what needs to be done do further, so that we can work together. And the chairman said in his opening remarks that Baracara could be the change. We don't want to see Baracara be the change. We already see changes in Baracara. You agree with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
And my brother who said, Amsterdam said, I was making very copious notes while you were speaking. My brother, Mr. Amsterdam, said that although you have the pain, you are smiling, but your pains are being eased. That is why you are smiling. You agree with me, right?
Yes, yes.
So I have been making very copious notes when you have been speaking. So, and I want to say that we are happy to be here, and I want to tell you from our government perspective that we will once again make Baracara the area, and when I mean Baracara, the surrounding area, I don't want anybody to take offense. I mean Ikura, I mean Takuba, and other areas. The areas in the Kanji Creek will make that progressive and productive once again. As it stands now, almost all the commitments that were made by His Excellency when he was here, when I accompany him, we are on the verge of delivering those commitments.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
And when he made that visit, we didn't came here to tell you that we will do it or we make promises. We came, we heard, and we are delivering to you, the people.
According to Minister Mustapha, the government of Guyana sees agriculture as one of the most important sectors to Guyana's economy and is therefore placing significant resources at its disposal so as to ensure that the nation's farmers are able to engage in agriculture in its many forms in the communities all across the country. The Agriculture Minister assured the Kanji Creek residents that markets for Guyana's agricultural produce is opening up all through the Caribbean and beyond, and thus growing opportunities for farmers to cash in on the wealth-generating potential of agriculture.
Guyana today, and countries that never want to deal with Guyana, are looking to Guyana today for that leadership.
Yes.
Places like Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, the entire Eastern Caribbean countries, their economy is based solely on tourism. But today they are now diversifying, and they are going into agriculture. They are asking us to help them to develop their agriculture sector. I have sent technical persons to Barbados. I have visited Barbados. What they are doing, they are not so fortunate like us, where they have abundant fresh water. They have large land space. They have a hilly area. They are building reservoirs to store water for irrigation purposes. So we have two of the main ingredients.
Yes.
We have a lot of land, arable land, and we have fresh water. We need the investment, and the government will make the investment for you. Develop the infrastructure so that you can farm. That is why, as I am speaking here today, NDIA would have contract out a number of work that has to be done in your community. We have the two contractors here who the work were awarded to. So one have already started, and the other one will get started in a few days. Now what we have done, we have divided the area into two parts. One for livestock and the other for cash crop farming or farming. So the farming area or the infrastructure have already started in the farming area. We have seen a number of canals that will be dug and clear. A number of impoundment will be done. Now that contract have already started, and I want to assure my sister here too that their canal have been tendered out, and your work will be done in Tacuba, right? So we are not looking at any area with special attention. All the areas in this country are special for us.
Yes, man.
Right? The
Yes,
same
man.
work that we are doing here, the same investment that we are making in Kanji Creek, are the same investment we are doing in different parts of the country.
According to Minister Mustapha, government's approach to development in all its forms is one that is without consideration to politics or race, but one in which every single Guyanese in every community across the country are provided with the resources necessary to improve their livelihoods and, by extension, the local economy of Guyana.
This thing is nothing about politics, you know. Let me be very frank with you.
All right.
Let us put that aside.
Yes.
Let us put that aside, because if you are PNC, you are PPP, when you produce the country benefit.
Wonderful.
The country benefit. But we must always support progress. We must always support progress. We must always do that. And if we are seeing that our livelihood are changing to the better, we must continue to support things that are bringing betterment for us. So, comrades, this morning,
Well spoken.
this morning, I want to assure you that we will continue to work with you. The philosophy of our government is not to sit behind in an office and send out the technical people. We are coming ourselves. As Minister of Agriculture, I've visited almost thousands of communities in this country. In every corner in this country, I would have visited to listen to the plights of the farmers. What we want to do, we want Guyana to regain its status, to be the food basket of the Caribbean. And we can do that with the investment. Last year we would have expended $38 billion in the agriculture sector. Very shortly, Monday coming is the budget again.
All right.
After that budget, we'll have more funds to be expended. In your community alone, we have contracts awarded to the tune of, one contract is $91 million, and the other one is this one, right?
The last page.
The other one is 96 million. So 2 contracts awarded in your community to do a number of work, one for 91 million and the other one for 96 million. In one area alone in this country. Imagine how many areas we have. And we will make that investment. Because our president is very passionate about the food sector in our country.
Referring to requests by farmers for the supply of fertilizer and chemicals for use in their farms, Minister Mustapha assured that while his ministry will be unable to supply all that is needed at one time, help will be provided through the provision of some fertilizer and other agriculture inputs to ease the current hardships being experienced. Speaking to livestock farmers, Minister Mustapha said his ministry, through the GLDA, will work with livestock farmers in the Kanji Creek in crafting a livestock development plan for the area.
I want to tell the comrades, yes, we will give you a breeding boar. We'll give you all the 2 pig farmers. We'll give you all the breeding boars. And we'll give you 2 breeding rams. Right. 2 breeding rams. Right? So Dr. Waldron, in a week time, in a week or 2 times, Dr. Waldron will give you all those things to the community.
Yes.
Right? So what we'll do, we'll have to craft a livestock plan for this community.
Wonderful.
So GLDA, Dr. Waldron, who is heading GLDA, he and his team will craft a plan for livestock in this community. But you have to see what exists. What exists and how we'll move forward. You understand? What exists and how we'll move forward. So they will come, do an analysis of it, and they will submit to me what is needed to develop the livestock sector in the Kanji Creek.
During the meeting with the Agriculture Minister, residents took the opportunity to raise issues relative to improved phone service in the creek, as it is very hard to communicate most of the times, cell phones having little or no signal in the further reaches of the Kanji Creek. At the end of the formal meeting, Minister Mustapha and his team distributed a number of agricultural inputs to residents of the Baracara community as well as other communities of the Kanji Creek.